What is the purpose of duality?
What is the purpose of duality? Nothing to laugh about. It's a good question. If that essence is perfect, then why all this? Huh? Whatever you're hearing about truth, about reality, about the essence, about the oneness, don't take it literally. No one has ever been able to define reality. So then when we understand, when we think we understand, oh, all is one, it makes totally sense. Then why all this? What the hell? Falling out of that oneness, struggling, suffering, hell, and then after that finally ending up where we started. Oneness is just an aspect of that mystery that cannot be put in words. No concept can ever encompass that magnificence of existence. All is one, all is connected, there is no separation. Separation is an illusion. But in that oneness there is also the multiplicity. There are myriads of centers of perception. All one, connected with everything, and yet there is something unique and beautiful to every center of perception. There is a divine being, not separate from all the rest, and yet unique. The essence is the same. It's not going to change. But the experience of that essence keeps on unfolding and unfolding and unfolding. And that being wants to experience itself and starts to project. And there starts the duality. As soon as there is duality, there is a polarity. Positive, negative, good, bad. As soon as there is a manifestation, there is the polarity. And the consciousness can project in a manifestation like that, and going through the experience that is involved, doing so, and getting richer for that experience. Basically, the point would be that consciousness is projecting itself in this world and then playfully, joyously goes through this time-space continuum for a lifetime, getting richer for the experience. But somehow, somewhere, there has been a friction. And instead of being aware that that being, I'm not even now really incarnated. There is just that projection within this time-space continuum, but there forms that feeling of me, of a personality separate. And once that establishes itself, then somehow all the struggle starts. Then comes that feeling, there is somewhere like a circle, inside it's me, I, outside it's the whole rest. And with that all the struggle comes. It need not be like this. But yet, it's still not for nothing that we are going through that. I can promise you. Not a drop of any efforts that you're making, not a drop of any pain you're enduring, not a drop of anything that you're experiencing is in vain. Everything is collecting, is harnessing something extremely precious. As long as we are totally identified with the story in the midst of it, we may not be aware of it, but still it's accumulating. And sometime, somewhere, that being that goes through all that will start to consciously reap the fruit of all that. So nobody comes in this world in vain. Everybody goes out of this lifetime much richer. But as long as we are going through it half asleep, blindly, it's a drag. It's a painful business. Then we are just being pushed along by the currents of destiny and banging the head left and right, and we can't stop that. You can, even now, step out of that. If you're bringing your attention to the present, that timelessness of the now, you're stepping out of that current. And then you become aware, okay, there is the story, all these things are going on, but there is always that aspect that is absolutely not affected by it. And you can make that in your home. And if you function from that, then this whole becomes play. You stop taking this damn story so serious. And it makes sense. Suddenly the duality makes sense. Because you're getting richer for the experience with every moment. I said, nobody is coming in vain. Everybody goes out of this life richer than we came in. But as long as we are half asleep, as long as we are unaware and totally identifying with that role that we are playing, that personality that we are not, but that we are playing, if you identify with that, it's a very slow and painful process. The more you learn to step out, the more powerful every moment becomes, and you get out of a lifetime many, many million times as much. It's like when you're painfully going through that. And you stop suffering. Suffering is coming out of that identification with me, a personality, and I want this, I want that, and if I'm not having this, I'm not happy, and most of the time the situation is not the way I want it to be, and there we are suffering. If we stop doing that, if we become aware, there is that aspect always there present, even if you are not aware of it, that aspect that is not affected. If you learn to be rooted in that, then the whole becomes play. You stop suffering. Still, in manifestation, at least in this world, sometimes it's pleasant, sometimes it's unpleasant. It's not that eventually, if you get enlightened after that, life is a stream of pleasant experiences. There may be worlds like this, but not here. But it doesn't matter. If you are not resisting, it's no big deal. The situation comes, we deal with it, it goes, it doesn't leave a trace. The situation comes and we resist, and there we are in trouble. The situation comes, we like it, we want to hold it, but it goes, and we are in trouble. But if you learn to be new and fresh every moment, then everything is perfectly all right as it is. Sometimes pleasant, sometimes not pleasant. Comes, you deal with it, it goes. And you are already totally new and fresh for the new situation. And then duality is absolutely not a problem. Everybody wants to be happy. It's natural. Our natural state is joyous,
Наше естественное состояние – это радость.
feeling complete.
Чувствую себя наполненным.
And so naturally everybody longs to come back to that natural state.
И каждый должен научиться прийти к
It's our birthright.
этому естественному.
That's how we should live.
Мы должны жить
Playfully, joyously.
радостно.
But then somehow one looks for happiness in the wrong places.
Но обычно люди ищут счастье в неправильных местах.
Struggling, get this, get that, more money, more wealth, more property, more power. Always hoping the next thing will make me fulfilled.
Новая следующая вещь сделает меня
And momentarily it seems to work,
И на какой-то момент кажется, что
and then it is commonplace again, and that nagging comes again.
снова и снова вы ищете сами меня чего.
And it won't stop
И это бесконечно.
as long as we are looking for happiness somewhere.
Пока вы ищете счастье где-то снаружи.
And then we become spiritual. And then somebody says, oh, if you struggle enough, eventually you will get enlightened. Pure bliss. And there we struggle again. What we are looking for is here, is now. It's not at the end of a long journey. What we are looking for is that which makes the present experience possible. And all the spiritual struggles, all the practices, they are just to somehow help us to detach from all our mental obsessions, from all our mental preoccupations, and learn to turn the attention back and be aware of what is. It's not that we have to achieve something. It's here, it's now, for the taking. Practicing is very helpful, useful, but not that we have to struggle, and eventually we have accumulated enough points that we are getting the rewards. It's not a business. Practicing is just helping us not to be in our mind and spinning our castles all the time, but catch the attention and bring it back to that sense of presence. That which we are touching consciously when we say, "Hi." Which is so totally familiar. Nobody can say, "I don't know that." But we don't know it as something. We cannot define it. And yet it's the most familiar. We know it by being. If you just say, "I," without a thought, not "I'm like this, I'm like that, yesterday this happened, tomorrow maybe," just "I." Immediately, the attention touches that sense of presence, so totally familiar. It's never absent, but most of the time we are overlooking it. Most of the time the attention goes everywhere else, struggling, trying to find fulfillment while it is here, now.